Lots of garlic. It's that time of year again. So I guess what we'll need to do is get ready to put this garlic up. This is elephant garlic. If it ain't cured by night, it never will be. I'm not gonna try to manicure this too much right now. I'm just gonna put it up in heads. And we'll see how it works out. We'll see how she works out. Lord, there's a bunch of it too. There's a bunch of it. First thing, I guess, is just remove that. And that way we can leave all them tops bundled. And I'll throw them right there for right now. This is cured well by now. Cured well or well cured, my friend. Some of these is single heads. They didn't make cloves. Very few of them, but there is a few. Guess we'll just kind of bag them separately. This is actually the fun part of the deal, I guess. I started to say there's a big spider that I sure don't like. Big spider. I hate spiders. I hate spiders. I really do. That one looked about big as a... Got a bunch of piss ants there too, it looks like. We're going to shave them roots off. And then you can just roll this. Like that, just gentle. Just roll it. And that way you'll have your head of garlic that looks presentable. Just like I say, you can just roll some of the dirty skins off, because it'll come right off now. Don't want to take too many of them. Not too many. Just get the worst off. And probably should wait till before I cut the roots off. Actually, did you see that? If they all come off like that, that'll be the trick, won't it? Let's just see. I'll just grab them roots like this, give it a twist. That's how man forgets from one year to the other. But anyway, this is elephant garlic. And it's like I say, you can twist that off. Just twist them right off. That don't affect the cloves, the roots. It has nothing to do with the cloves that's inside these heads, as far as ripping those roots off. I seen you blow off there, Sack. Don't try to get away from me. You can see where that's been opened up. It don't matter. It don't matter to me. I'll open these up later. I'm not going to open them up now. Just ripping some of the nasty off. And then twisting them roots off like that right there. That's all I'm doing here today. And then when we get ready to, I guess you can see what I'm doing here. Just roll the dirt off. Remember, if you watched, you heard me say that there's no need to worry about getting the dirt and stuff off when I dug them, because this day would come and you've got to, you can clean them now, because that paper, I knowed was going to have to come off, and that's where the grunge is at, the dirt. Now here's one that's opened up. You can see it's opened up big time. And it's like I say, I'm not gonna, all I'm here today to do is this partially clean. I'm gonna cut that one because I'm afraid if I bend that too much, it'll break it loose, which wouldn't matter, but I don't want it broke loose today. And there's some pretty good sized heads of garlic here. I'll tell you they are. But after your garlic and stuff cures, after a while, I mean, you've got to kind of get it in. You can't leave this out all forever, you know. It's got to be. Let me get that bag and I'll kindly wipe some of this old trash off here. It's kind of nasty, John. It gets kind of nasty fooling with you, as far as dusty and dirty, but that's all you have to do, is pull that off. Then just twist that bugger. Some of them's a little tighter than others. You twist them off. Don't have to be perfect. All seems to be, I'll open one or two here in a little bit and make sure that everything's looking all right inside. But I can tell you right now, it sure feels like it is. So you can just roll that off, and the further you get down in there, the prettier it gets. Just roll them a little bit, because all the skins are still on these. I didn't pull any off. And I'll just tell you, of course, once it gets in this condition and in this state where it's as dry as it is, you don't have to worry about, listen, you don't have to worry about nothing going bad now, because anything that was going bad, if there is any, and I'm sure there'll be a few, is already gone bad. It's done gone bad and dried up. It's like I say, if there's any in there. And it would be stupid to think there wasn't some. I've got all the other garlic all broke down into cloves and ready to plant or do whatever I'm gonna do with it. Now some like these right here, see, that's just a solid, that's just one a single, it didn't divide. It didn't multiply. It probably some of the smaller ones or something, I don't know. You'll have that along. Occasionally you'll have some that don't form cloves, just stays as a single bulb. Now if I planted that back, and I have, and next year, you know, if it goes through the stratification, here's another one, there's a few. If you planted this back, it'll make next year more than likely it'll make a big head of garlic, and it'll have cloves in it. But if it don't get cold enough on that garlic, a lot of times that prevents them from making cloves. That's why a lot of people put their garlic in the refrigerator. You know, put it in the refrigerator. I forget the temperature that you'd want to maintain, but they put it in the refrigerator, and then that mimics wintertime. That's why I always plant. That's why you plant your garlic. You want to plant your garlic around October, 1st October somewhere, and that way you've got plenty of time for your garlic to get them chill airs on it. Makes it go to close. I need to sell some of this garlic, really, rather than to let it go to waste. But I can't eat all this. Lord have mercy. I see people with this much, and that's about the facts. Huh? That's enough to do us all winter, they'll say. And I'm thinking, absolutely. They're telling you the truth. It don't take a lot of garlic to make her through. But I'm one that thinks, well, while I'm planting 3 rows, I might as well plant 6. No, this year what I done was I bought several different, well, how many different ones? I've got 3 or 4 different strains out there. Now here's another one that didn't make cloves. It's solid. That's fine though. I mean, if someone likes garlic, I'm talking about really likes garlic, you can take that and you're making soup, skin that off, throw that whole head in there, or cut it. I think what I done was strung most of these up that didn't split into one group. We'll see. Pretty interesting. I won't do all this today. Anybody got any idea what's happening in Israel over there today? That war. I'm telling you what, we're close. I think we're close to getting in it's untelling what'll happen. Wars, and Russia and Ukraine, and last I heard we had some Russian warships sitting again down in Venezuela, right down the road here. Oh, Lord. I don't know what could happen, but I can tell you something right now. Something's gonna happen. There's too many in the ball game right now for one of them not to make just a slight little mistake. And then she'll break out. Here's one that's opened up out there. This is what happens if you leave them a little too long. See, they'll open up on you. They sure will. I'm just rubbing the worst of the dirt off of this, or the dirt goes with the outer skin, and I'm not taking too many pains for doing that. But it makes a big difference. I mean, kindly. You don't want to put this in bags with all that old loose dirt on it and then pack it in the house. And it's sifting through the screen here. You know the onion bag that you know a lot of people that can choke that up like that and blow that onion blow that up like a balloon. The moral of it is they're so full of it and full of hot air, it don't take much to blow it up. Be like blowing Lord. I get tickled every time I think of that. Had a friend one time told me, he's talking about another guy. I've told you this story before. And here's one I'm just gonna, yeah, I ain't gonna, I'll just take the worst off of it. Yep, this is one that where it tried to go south on me, but them solid as a rock. There's nothing wrong with them. He said, yeah, he said, he's the only man in town I know that can blow up an onion sack. And I got to think, and it's like I said, he's about telling the truth. Because he was as windy as a turkey and deceitful. No longer a friend of mine. But anyway, the old boy hit the nail right on the head. Yeah, he's the only man in town I know that can blow up an onion sack. And you get to thinking, if you know who I was talking about, you look at that head and that face trying to blow that onion sack up. And it's like the guy said, if there's anybody in town that could blow one up, it'd be him. Anyway, let's get off of that stupid subject. Get back to something more important. Like cleaning this garlic a little bit. You sit here and do this very long, and I'll just tell you, it will wear you out. I brought a couple of bags out here, and what I'll do is I'll put the solid ones and the ones that's opened in one bag, and then I'll put the good ones here, the big cloves. And the reason I pull out a lot of these big ones, two reasons. Some you sell big ones, but when you're growing stuff like this, it'll work. If you just took any of this and planted, it will work. But if you're trying to grow big garlic and wanting it bigger, if you eat the biggest cloves and plant back the little ones, you're just sitting spinning. You ain't going nowhere as far as increasing your garlic size and stuff. This common sense will tell you, and the Bible, it'll always tell you too. You give back the best, you don't give the worst. When you're planting, you do the same thing. When you plant your stuff, you seed back, you save the best. You plant the best. If you're replanting, you don't plant the little sickly looking things. You plant the best. And that's the facts. See, that wasn't hard, was it? And I'll just take this bag and see if I can't blow it up here with garlic. Put your big heads in there. These ain't the biggest, and we'll go through that when I'm selecting for seed. Don't you look now. There's some big heads here. Big heads of garlic, look here. Big as your hand. It's all you can do to hold 2 of these in your hand. Look at that. Elephant garlic. just the way she rolls. Now these, it's opened, and them heads there that's opened, they will not go in this bag. They'll go in that other bag. And that'll be the ones you eat and stuff. That's all right. It's open a little, it's all right. It is, it's all right. I think this is some of the biggest. Well, there, that one, I tore that in two. But it's all right. There's some big old cloves in it. But I said I wasn't putting that in there if it's tore in two, so I won't. It don't matter, really, where it goes. There's another, and that's by taking, you take too many skins off, and that's what happens a lot of time. And I could have cut these more, but I ain't worried about that either. Probably would be, don't matter, wouldn't help a thing, would it? That one's coming into too. So I'm just gonna leave that there. I'll tell you what, this one or that other one go, and that one come apart. I am gonna put that in because I know that them's good ones. There's another one coming apart. That's all right. We're gonna put the whole heads in here. The whole heads is going in there. Ours once open a little. We'll leave it there. Now when I tie these, what I do, that green, I just tie that like that, and then I'll reach and get here. I'll get me like a shoelace. Then take the other side after I pull that tight, just wrap it in there and put a bow in it. About like that. That's all you have to do. And that when you want to take it apart, you don't want to grab that and pull it though, hold it with a thing there. Let me grab this other bag. I'd say that what I've got done here, now that quick, is I probably got probably a fourth of it, maybe fourth. There's another bag. That'll be good. I can use that in a minute. These now is going to be the solid ones and the ones that have broke open. This will be the one that when we want garlic to eat, this is to be the first thing that we reach in and get, is these. And there's not a thing wrong with planting these. Not a thing wrong with it. I'll show you right here in a second with this one right here. Now, you can see where that's opened up. Now, take that off. Look here. I'm going to take this apart. Now here we go. Out of that garlic head of garlic, we got there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the one that had been opened. It's got a little dirt on it. Look at there, it opened up. It was already cracked. Won't hurt a thing. Won't hurt a thing. But now that's one that, that'll last easily till October, no problem. So anyway, there's 2, 4, 6. And if you plant this one didn't make cloves. This is solid. Solid. 1. If you plant this, now it's already once I planted, whatever I planted, I don't know, you'll have some that does this. But the moral of the story is this. Now, I took two heads of garlic here. This one and the one I took apart. This one is still 1. This one is 6. If I plant these back, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 2, I come with 7. In reality, out of 2, I should have had 14. So anyway, there you go. There you go. Let me wipe this table off. And this is not done. I mean, this ain't full. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get me a few more. I guess I'll be able to tell if that camera's on by looking at the lens. If the lens opens up into a light, then I'll know it's kicked off. But anyway, he found worms in the corn. And I thought, well, I've never seen that happen, but I noticed something had been eating that corn up. He said, speaking of them worms, he said, well, I can take care of them worms in 5 minutes. And I thought, well, I said, well, go to it. And he got that big drone out, that big ag drone, and he mixed a few little cocktails up for them worms, and it didn't take him 3 minutes. I've got it on video. You can look and see there. By the time I was thinking about it, he'd had it sprayed. Of course, it wasn't that big a patch. I hope that it got the worms. If it didn't, them worms will finish it. What I started to say is I've never had such a time. I'm gonna contribute part of it to me. Never had such a time growing corn in all my life. And furthermore, even the garden, it didn't fare too well. And of course, a lot of that was me. I just didn't fight it. Of course, I started out and then it started raining. Everybody knows how it was. Rain, 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 rain. You couldn't even mow the grass. And finally, I hooked some sprinklers up. And I thought, well, I'll use them sprinklers and to water my garden. And that was before the rain started, mind you. And from that day, maybe the next day after I started watering, I think I watered twice out of the well. Anyway, I called it the rain dance or something, named the video that, because I thought I'm out here dancing trying to water this garden. Well, I must have done a real good rain dance, because when it started raining, I'm telling you, the ground wouldn't dry up. Lots of rain. Now, of course, we wasn't the only one, but people that got it know exactly what I'm talking about. One thing right after another, and then I'm thinking, I'm not getting out in this old rain and nasty stuff to try to deal with the garden. Then, and of course, lots of heat involved too, hot. And so, you know, excuses, excuses, excuses. Tell this garlic that opens up. I like to let some of this go too long, I'll tell you this. I was talking to a guy about this very thing. He even had emailed me and wanted to know when the best time to get the garlic out. He didn't want his garlic to run. And I said, yeah, I understand. I told him, I said, when you start seeing them leaves at the bottom, you just have to pull one up and check. I mean, there's no one can tell you when to gather that, because ain't no one can see it but you, unless you've got it on filmed and ask people's opinion. No, about the garden, I don't know, you know. I'm not the only one, I don't think, that's been having lots of problems with stuff doing well this year. That's no excuse not to keep growing stuff, though, that's for sure. That's no excuse. No excuse, my friend. Now this right here, what I've gathered down, I've got twice that much left hanging over there. Twice this much. And I won't get it all today. I don't want to get it all today. Now here's a big one that didn't make any clothes. Just one big head. But you can see there's not as many in this batch, is because I had a lot of them singles, I think, bundled together. I'm out here fighting with a camera, trying to keep it running and talking at the same time, so the train of thought gets derailed. Start talking about one thing, jump off on something else. That's my trademark, I guess. You know, if you want a mild garlic right here, they say that this garlic is not real garlic. They say elephant garlic's not real garlic. They say it's more in the leek family. And it may be. But I can tell you right now, it smells like garlic. It looks like garlic. It grows like garlic. It tastes like garlic. So, I think it's garlic. Eh, Lord. I don't know who come up with that. It wasn't garlic. And I'm not saying that it ain't. What I'm saying is it is, in my opinion. It's garlic. That's what they call it, ain't it? Elephant garlic? Elephant being big garlic. Now, of course, it's like any other garlic. Different types of garlic's got different characteristics to it as far as taste. I can eat this right here. I can eat that whole head at one time, the garlic. I take that right there and set that in the microwave oven in a bowl. And I put about a teaspoon of water in the bottom of that bowl. And set that on about, 2 minutes to start with. And it won't be long till you'll see that start steaming in there. I'm talking about steaming. Well, I can tell you right now, if your garlic is real dry, you know, like if you save garlic one year to the next, you've got to be careful, because it don't take it just a minute and hit you. You better have some moisture in there with it. That's why I always add a teaspoon of water. Anyway, when you get that done, when that gets done cooking, take a toothpick and just probe it and see if it's soft, or you can feel of it. It'll get hot, Lord have mercy. But you can dry, if you dry that out too dry, then it'll get tough on you. But most of the time when you put that in there, the moisture in there will seal it. I've got them little ramekin like deals that you can cook in a microwave with. And that does well. So you can take that and then pop all them out of there, and then mix you some butter in with that, and take a fork and mash it up and make a puree out of it. They're good. They are good. Now a lot of these, just like I say, the ones that's opened and the solid ones, ain't going in this, ain't going in these whole bags. I'll keep them to utilize first. These big ones is what I'm saving because they got the wrappers on them. It means that they will maintain longer, I hope. Some of them it ain't too bad. I'll go ahead and put in there. This little bitty stuff like that. Nope, it's going in there. It's a going in there. I can get a few more in here, but I'm not going to be worried about it right now. So I just pull them up. Make me a loop. Go around it like a slip knot or a shoelace knot or whatever you want to call it. There you go. Now the rest of this, these whole ones and the ones that's broken apart, the ones that stayed in the garden a little too long start opening up, which they're fine. They just don't look too good. They're open. They have no protection from drying out. They'll dry out quicker, but they'll last as long as you want them. As long as you need them. As long as you need to keep them. Let's put it that way. Now that's full. We'll grab that right there. Pull it up. Make us come back here, boy. Come back here, Willis. Okay, these right here. Good garlic. That's all good garlic, but you understand what I'm saying. Well, wash my table. It's getting pretty hairy. Okay, that's what I wanted to do, is come out here and get this garlic started, and that's what we've done. And I could keep working, but if I did, I'd cheat myself out of another day of doing this. So half of it today, that's fine. That's plenty. That's plenty. So I'm gonna get on in. We'll call it quits for today. We'll call it a day.